Matt Murdock, aka the Daredevil, is the newest addition to the Marvel Rivals roster. He's a duelist like no other who packs a punch and blinds enemies. And what I have for you today is the ultimate guide or masterclass to understanding, playing, and learning Daredevil in Marvel Rivals Season 4.5. From basic abilities, more advanced combos, playstyles, and even counters, we have everything you need to know. And like always, if you're new here or find yourself coming back on the regular, make sure to hit that like button and make sure to subscribe, especially if you're new here. We're going for 50,000 subscribers. It's one of the biggest goals that I have yet, and honestly we're on a pretty good pace. But regardless, I hope you sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Kicking things off with the abilities for Daredevil. His normal attack, his primary attack, is the Justice Jab. You swing your billy clubs forward and you gain Fury on hit. The Fury is directly below the crosshair, and it's how you use the rest of the kit, but this is just the normal attack. It does a significant amount of damage. Definitely nothing extremely crazy, but for a melee duelist coming into this game, it is a very solid number. This number isn't disclosed yet, but again, very solid number. Now, his secondary attack is Objection. You whirl belly clubs in a tight guard to block frontal damage and reflect projectiles, becoming immune to all incoming harm during the stance and gaining Fury. Fury's at the bottom. And it does damage, which is pretty cool. And unlike Captain America's shield, you can actually direct where the incoming projectiles come from. So if I were to get Iron Man ulted or anything like that, I can actually choose where it deflects to, which is unlike Captain America's shield, where Captain America's shield is completely random. So it is a super useful tool, but again, it's on a 12-second cooldown, so it's definitely a timer to be aware of. Now let's talk about his movement ability, which is the Devil's Latch, where you fire a grappling line that reels Daredevil and his targets toward each other. On completion, you gain Fury and typically enables Righteous Cross. Righteous Cross is an ability that, after using his shift, his E, his F, you can press left click or your primary attack again, and it does a cross attack. So, fired in the air, when you don't hit targets, there's no cooldown because you're not hitting anything. You can use it to go on the ground or get to high spots, and you see Righteous Cross for 5 seconds. Use it, that's Righteous Cross. It does a little bit more damage than just the default melee. If you are to hit an enemy target with the Devil's Latch, you pull them into you, and you move to them as well. It doesn't do that much damage. It's used mainly for movement. You can use B-hopping tech with it, because it is a movement ability, and you can carry your momentum. Let me show you real quick. So I shift, and I can kind of carry the momentum a little bit. It's not a crazy amount of momentum, but you can B-hop around if you have jump, bound to, scroll wheel up or down, or any other buttons that you can continuously spam. Now let's talk about Internal Fury. This is a big part of his damage. This is where all the Fury stacks come into play. So you consume Fury to unleash either Devil's Chain or Devil's Throw. Or press E, you can see Devil's Chain or Devil's Throw, correct? And it converts damage. Devil's Chains converts damage dealt into bonus health. So if I use Devil's Chain, hit somebody, you see I have 409 health, which is pretty insane. And it also consumed 2 charge. And then Devil's Throw slows hit targets and both temporarily enable Righteous Cross. So the cool thing is that I throw, it does a bounce. And I always want to have uptime on my Fury so I can keep using the ability. So pretty cool. Now another one of his abilities is Sonic Pursuit, where you lock onto a target, so lock on, then you gain increased speed and damage reduction when attacked. While in range, you dash to the target, blinding them and restoring Fury. So when you have somebody marked, you have increased speed and increased damage reduction if you're getting shot at. So it's pretty cool. So you can really pursue your target. That's the whole idea. And you can dash them after. It does not enable the cross, but that's where other combos come into play. So it's really good to really just mark people and run around. The dash is on a cooldown, but you can continuously remark people with the Sonic Pursuit. So you can always Sonic Pursuit, always know where people are moving. Following that, he has 2 passive. One of his passives is Radar Sense, where you detect enemy movements with a set radius. That's where you see people through the walls, and you can Sonic Pursuit through the wall. All pretty cool. Then he has Blind Descent, where you can just climb up walls. So you climb up a wall, and you can also latch onto the wall, if I do it right. By holding S. You know, go up a wall, you hold S. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. Just some movement tech. So his ultimate is let the devil out. You embrace the beast within enemies in Daredevil's line of sight. Keep in mind, line of sight, take damage and suffer a ramping blind effect. And you continuously gain fury while active. So if I ult, you can see the AoE around. And if they're inside the AoE, they start taking damage and they're blind. Now, there is a big thing to keep in mind. Enemies within line of sight. Yes, that is a big thing to keep in mind. So if I were to ult, and if I'm against an enemy and they turn away from me, they're perfectly fine. So that is a big thing to keep in mind. You can counter Daredevil's ults by literally just looking away. That being said, the ultimate is not crazy because you can look away. But you compare it with other ults. So, for instance, if you ult, you force the enemy to turn away from you. You could have an Emma with her ult on the other side, and they get charmed. So there is, team play. But for the most part, for being solo ulted, it's a little bit harder. That is something to definitely keep in mind. But for the most part, this character has an extremely high skill ceiling. I think this character is very rewarding and takes a lot to understand. It's going to be quite a while before people fully grasp his kit, in my personal opinion, because there is just so much about his kit and how to perfectly play him. But anyways, let's get on to the next section of this video. The first one is a melee tech that I kind of discovered. It's called Quack Attack. Someone in my chat named it. I'm sorry if it sounds cringy. My bad. Basically, you do 1, 2, 3, and then a quick melee. So 1, 2, 3, V for mouse and keyboard, which is default melee. So 1, 2, 3. And it's technically just a little bit faster than just holding left click. Or it's either 1, 2, 3, then the quick melee, 1, 2, 3. Or you just like weave quick melees between every single attack. So 1 quick melee, 1 quick melee. It's decent, you can do it, and you can really shred people down when you do it, 100%. But are you going to be using it all the time? Is it super practical? Maybe not necessarily, but if you do want that slight edge to do a little bit more damage, then I highly encourage you to weave melee attacks into your primary attack. It's just like other, melee characters, like a Captain America with the animation cancel, with the running and the shield. But you get the idea. It's very good if you want to do it. Now, the second thing I want to talk about is that always try to Sonic Pursuit people. No matter if it's on cooldown, say you use the dash. You're like, oh man, I used the dash. Well, you always just want to have Sonic Pursuit up all the time because you're always going to be having move speed and damage reduction. So always try to have someone marked, no matter if you're not going to dive them or not. As long as you have someone marked, you have that, speed and damage reduction. It is very good to have. Now, unlike brawlers such as Magic or Iron Fist who thrive in chaotic teamfights, Daredevil is mainly reliant on going for those individual plays. In my opinion, he's heavily favored in 1v1 scenarios, so he's going to be one of those flanking duelists. And that being said, I truly believe this character is actually really good. The only major thing is, in my opinion, he has an insanely high skill ceiling. You have to put a ton of work into the character to be extremely proficient with him, just like a lot of the other duelists in this game, but Daredevil specifically. From my personal experience in personal playing, you really want to capitalize on Daredevil's passive wall climb to easily allow him to get to vantage points and really flank behind enemies. He's really a character that just jumps into the enemy team's backline, tries to nuke down one strategist, and then use the rest of his kit to get out. That's easier said than done, of course, but that's the whole idea. Kind of like Psylocke in a way. You're going in the back, nuking one character, getting out as fast as possible. Because of his larger health pool and the amount of overshield he gets, he can stay in the backline a little bit longer than Psylocke, for example. But again, I can't emphasize enough, the character is extremely good in my personal opinion. He does a ton of damage. He can be used in a lot of different situations. It's just he has a super high skill mechanic required. So don't expect to pick up the character and do extremely well the first game. It might take a couple, it might take a few days, but honestly, the character is a ton of fun if you manage to play him. Before we talk about some of the combos I've found, or maybe some other people have found and I'm also using, I want to talk about the counters and what does well into this character. In my opinion, characters like Groot, he can wall off his ultimate again, he's one of those characters that has hypermobility like a Black Panther or a Spider-Man or a Psylocke, so generally the same counters work well into him as well. Think about Thing, Namor, Winter Soldier, those characters. So if you keep those things in mind, those are some of the best things to be looking out for. Talk about some combos with Daredevil. So we're always going to be having Sonic Pursuit on the target we're going to be pulling off the combo with, because you get increased movement speed and damage reduction. From there, we're going to be using our internal or Infernal Fury. So you're pressing Infernal Fury, you're going to do the Devil's Throat. Now from here, you can either use Sonic Pursuit to close the gap, or you can use Righteous Cross if you're within that distance, because after you do that, you can then dash again, go to E, so and then go straight into chains. Then you have Righteous Cross to finish off. So again, always making sure we have Max Fury. And then we're going to use Infernal Fury, Devil's Throw, and then we're going to Pursuit with the dive to close the gap. Then we're going to go into Infernal Fury again, and then we're going to be using Devil's Change pretty much for the rest of the combo. So Sonic Pursuit, E, right click, dash, Righteous, E, left click. It's just, you're mainly just trying to rotate those two abilities as pretty much all the time. Sonic Pursuit, right, or E, right click, dash, Righteous Cross, E, left click. And that's pretty much the most basic combo you have with this character. Again, Sonic Pursuit. Once we have our Max Fury up, let me get it back up. Sonic Pursuit, E, Devil's Throw, dash, Righteous Cross, E, left click. And each time we're going to be just speeding up faster and faster, so it's harder to react to. I mean, this character is extremely good in my opinion. If I were to put him on a tier list, I would either put him high A or low S. But that being said, I think the character requires a lot of game time. Like I've been saying, he takes a ton of skill to really master, and he's definitely going to be one of those high skill expression characters you can be seeing, and it's going to be very annoying to play against a very good one of them. You can easily dive into the enemy's backline and just shut them down. Now there is something called a yo-yo. I'm pretty sure they're changing this from the early access to full release of the character. Basically, you can Devil's Latch and pull the target towards you. So if I do shift and then I jump, I pull the target towards me. Instead, what it's supposed to do is that when you just grapple, you go to the target and the target goes to you. But if you add the jump to it, it just pulls the target only to you and you don't move forward. So it's kind of like Bucky's hook. Now, again, they said they're going to be nerfing this or completely removing it. It's a bug from early access to full release, but I just want to show you what you could have done. It's pretty cool, but I'm glad it's definitely getting changed, because a character like this probably shouldn't have it. He already has a ton of utility in his back pocket, so he definitely doesn't need this ability whether you want to, talk about it or whatever. Definitely, this character does not need to be able to do this. He already has too much in his kit. That is, like, very good for him. Because literally, you have a flanker that has 450 HP. Essentially, it's like Season 0 Black Panther when he had all of the overshield. But for the most part, that's pretty much it. There is B-hop tech. Shift, start the B-hop, like so. It's not a crazy amount of B-hop, but you do get a little bit momentum. Your momentum dies very fast after, so you only get like 2 jumps really. So it's this grappling it then at the apex, or right when you're starting to get close to the wall. You then cancel it with a jump and you just carry on jumping after it. Again, you can't, it's not a ton of momentum like a Wolverine or a Hulk B-hop, but it's still pretty significant. That definitely useful in a lot of scenarios. But like I said, this character is going to be extremely fun, and I highly encourage you to check out this guide that I've made, but you probably made to this point, to definitely check it out. But like always, hopefully this video has helped you in any way, shape, or form, and if you want to check out any of my other masterclasses or character guides, make sure to check out the channel, and if you find the content interesting or helpful in any way, shape, or form, definitely definitely encourage you to hit that subscribe button and that like button. And of course, don't remember the hype of the video. It's one of the best ways to help out the channel. Honestly, it is helping me a ton. But regardless, I hope you have a safe and fantastic day, and I'll catch you in the next one.